Okay, so we're all set to get started now.
Okay. Okay. So, we want to put it on the view
If you actually have
to come here.
yeah, I mean, I can try to do it too, but then I'd have to do it.
Okay. So let's.
Yeah, I'll do the,
So then I'll come here and.
yeah.
Okay. So tell me where the position I have to be. Here. Here. That's good.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Okay, before we start, my name is Dr. Atteya, and those who are participating in extra credit from Dr. Ricketts, Professor Lahaye, myself, and maybe Professor Dr. Strange, whoever your professor name, you have to sign in and then write your professor, because the attendance sheet has to be sent to all the professors involved. Are you sure? If you don't sign, then I don't know. We don't know who came in and who did not come in. So, okay. So again, today is I will talk about the chemistry of cancer. Now there is a biology of cancer as well, but if you look at the whole picture, it's really chemistry really involved more intensive than the biology itself when it comes to cancer. So again, my name is Dr. Atteya, and I'll talk about the chemistry aspect. The biology, we have plenty of biologists here that can give you more input to that, but I want just to, yeah. So we'll talk about the free radicals. Free radicals are the major source of this cancer. So what are those free radicals? Of course, we have not taken organic chemistry yet, but the free radicals are very reactive species. They have one odd single electron. They have not completed in their shells, and they have one odd single electron, and this unpaired single electron makes them very, very reactive. So in their way, like an axe, they chop any compound in front of it and make it another free radical. So the free radical can react with the cell or a compound and make itself part of the cell, part of this compound, and the whole cell now becoming too big, mutated, or the whole compound will become very big, and it counts itself as a free radical. This unstable configuration leads to energy releases, which will go to adjacent cell or molecule. As I said, it's very, very reactive compound or part of the cell. So this is just a mechanism. I know some of you is not taking just organic chemistry, but that's a simple one. We have here peroxide compounds, and you can see it chopped in the middle here, symmetrical. You produce this species twice with one odd single electron. This type of configuration is very, very energetic, very highly unstable, and tries to reach stability by attacking another cell. By doing this reaction, the second step, you can visualize this as a cell, correct? In our body, this compound here with double bond. Now this reactive species comes, react with the cell molecule, and now part of the cell now is what? Becoming larger in the mass, because this reactive species now is part of the cell, and it is what? A free radical, correct? This free radical comes and attacks another healthy cell, okay, another chemical compound, and look how the mutation is the cell becoming larger, larger, larger. The molecule will become larger, 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 and the process will not stop until two of them will come together. Whether these two come together with one of those, this will come with this. Two free radicals come together, and in the process called quenching, they quench themselves. So then the reaction stops. If the reaction will not stop, then the free radical will come. This free radical reacts with another healthy cell, and you can see its mutated itself is bigger, bigger, and bigger. And I'll show you a picture of a cell has affected a human, and you'll see how this in a human case. Now, this type of reactive oxygen species, when attack the cell, we call them reactive oxygen species. In chemistry, we call them free radicals. Chemists call this free radicals. The medicinal chemistry, the people who are working with the medicine chemistry, they call them reactive oxygen species, or we call them free radicals. So they can be formed by many processes, some of them from the sun, some of them from X-ray exposure or gamma exposure, some of them by the metal catalyzed reaction in the human body itself. Some of those free radicals or reactive oxygen species can come from the pollution, and those can come from the nitrophiles and macrophages during inflammation. And I have for you just a definition of the nitrophile. As I said, I'm not a biologist, but here is the definitions of the macrophages. This is, they call it big eater. A cell will come and want to extend its arm and then encompass other cells. So see here, this is cell spread out, free radical reaction, and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it encompasses itself with other cells. So that's what we call the macrophages, which can cause those free radicals to occur. Nitrophile. Nitrophile is not the nitrophile in the organic chemistry. That's another nitrophile. This is a white cell. So those are white cells. In white cell, you have this enzymes that digest microorganisms. So with this processes of white cell, it can cause in this process of inflammation free radicals as well. Free radicals means an odd single electron that's not stable, with a lot of energy in it. So some other resources that cause those free radicals, believe it or not, or oxygen reactive species, cigarette smoking, pesticide, herbicide, high fat, smog, car exhaust, certain prescription drugs, rancid food, alcohol, summer food and water supplies, and stress. So all those can cause those free radicals, this odd single electron, to form within the cell itself. Free radical sources, we have internal and external resources. The internal endogenous resources, this, as again, those are all those people in biology will tell you more than I do. This is all those are cells inside mitochondria and cytochrome P450 or P450 metabolism, peroxy isomers, and inflammatory cell activation. Those are internal processes by which single odd electrons are produced, which is free radical species. And again, here is the definition of those. As I said, I'm not a biologist, but the biologist might explain better than I do. But the mitochondria is considered as a powerhouse for cell activity. So it produces energy. In this process, production of energy, ATP, from the glucose and the triphosphate. So the sugar triphosphate, the process, and you can see this, in this process, it's malfunctioning, then you can produce free radicals as well. That's internal system. So the cytochrome P450, this is a large and diverse group of enzymes that function to catalyze the oxidation of organic substance within the body itself. If this process is malfunctioning, then again you can produce a free radical as well. So all those processes, they can cause internal production of free radicals. External resources of free radicals or oxygen reactive species, biotics, which is compounds are formed inside the body but not part of the body itself. The body is not producing them like antibiotics. So whoever takes too much of antibiotics, there's a possibility that you develop in the process of taking too much of this antibiotics, we can cause free radicals. So free radicals can be produced by the process of cyanobiotics. Chlorinated compounds, we know that chlorinated compounds has caused the ozone to have a small tiny layer, correct? You heard about the small hole inside the ozone layer outside the Earth. So those type of compounds can cause free radicals production. Environmental agents, metal, ions, and radiation. All those can cause the production of free radicals. Now, here's the definition. As I said, the biologist will tell you. The cyanobiotic is a chemical compound which is found in an organism, but not part of our body. It's not produced by us. And they can be antibiotics or any drug. So sometimes you have to watch some drugs you take. The side effect of taking some drugs is producing free radicals causing cancer. And you heard about this side effect of some compounds that can cause free radicals. Okay, so the reactive oxygen species effect. So from this, we will come to the conclusion that free radicals are bad. They are not really that bad if they are in small controlled amount. The body is producing them sometimes, which is in the immune system here. If you look here, not all reactive oxygen species free radicals are harmful. The immune system is using them to, to defend itself from infectious diseases, and function of several of the cellular signaling systems. So in small, tiny amounts, controlled amounts, they are used by the body. It's not bad. But if you get higher amounts of them, like exposure to the to UV or X-ray or cigarette smoke or smog or all these other types, we have seen the sources of those species, free radical species. If they are in higher amounts, then they can mediate damage to cell structure, including the lipids, the membranes, proteins, nucleic acid, and damage often referred as oxidative stress. So oxidative stress, when they come to the lipid, the whole molecule as a lipid become a free radical. So it starts with the free radical attacking the compound, the lipids. Lipids are compounds are not soluble in H2O, not soluble. They are not polar compounds. And they will attack protein, amino acids, nucleic acid. They will be attacked by those free radicals if they are in higher amounts, and they become themselves free radicals. They will attack another acid or lipids or other compounds. So, why are free radicals so life-threatening? Well, they can destroy the protein, the enzyme, and they can even destroy the whole complete cell, correct? And the free radicals can multiply. You have seen the picture how they can multiply to a larger extent. And by doing this, the cells themselves, they will get, they have their own agenda. So the brain has no control on them. So they will have their own agenda themselves. So therefore, they can cause damage for the whole body. The cells then can become so badly damaged that the DNA code cannot be altered, and the immune system will be compromised. And I have just read about how the cell can grow, and then can grow to extent and do function and can die. But everything is programmed. But if this process is altered or changed, then that causes the cancer itself. So they mediate. So this is just some of the compounds of the free radical oxygen species, free radical oxygen species, the free radicals attacking the DNA, and they isolated all those compounds. Can you believe yourself? A single molecule RNA is attacked by one free radical, and you can produce all those type of compounds. That's amazing. So you can see how the free radical can attack the DNA, and then all those type of compounds are detected and identified, and their names. They have names and identified by the liquid chromatography and by the mass spectroscopy. So, and here just to give you how the attack is happening. Let me show you here. That will show how the attack is happening. I hope it will come. Yeah, it's coming. This is a healthy DNA file. See here, that's the very nice healthy DNA. Now, the free radical compound, or we call it sometimes they call it carcinogenic, can cause cancer. Carcinogenic, a compound that leads to cancer. So it will come and trap itself in a larger hole, and then start attacking the DNA itself. And here you can look at the look how they can do the damage here. So this is a carcinogenic compound, external resources, and so this carcinogenic compound come and have a free radical now. The free radical come and start breaking, chopping down the DNA, and there you can see how many compounds we have seen. The DNA is really completely inactive. So you can see this is just a part of the picture. How is those free radical compounds can come in and then staying there. Not only staying there, they can what they can do. They can break the bond and make the DNA part of it. They can take one of the H's here. Those are methyl groups, by the way. Those are methyl groups. This hydrogen is that. Those red ones are hydrogen methyl groups, and they can abstract the H out, pulling the H out, making the whole DNA what? Free radical, correct? DNA molecule by itself can attack of one cell, can attack the other cell DNA. So, or it can break in a small, tiny chop like we have seen. So let's look at the mechanism, how the mechanism is going. Here's the mechanism, how they destruct, how they really destroying the DNA. Those free radicals or reactive oxygen species. By the way, the reactive oxygen species chemistry, as I said, we talked about them as free radicals, but the people in medicine and medicinal chemistry, they call them reactive oxygen species. So it's happened, this carcinogenic compound or free radicals or reactive oxygen species, they do have a free radical here, correct? They can come and attack the hydrogen. You see the hydrogen, the red one? Pull it out, producing H2O out of it, and the whole DNA now become a free radical. Are you following me here? Now this whole DNA free radical can of unhealthy cell can come and attack another adjacent cell which is healthy, correct? Can chop it down. Depending where the position of the free radical can chop from the top or the bottom. But that's the mechanism, the free radicals on the DNA. So they take the H out of the methyl group we have seen, and when it takes out, producing H2O out of it, and then you have the whole DNA left as itself a free radical. So it's really damaging the whole thing. So the DNA cannot assign any code to any other part of the cell. This is just to give the people who have really done a very great job in putting the structure of the DNA. This is Francis and James Watson. Those are, when they built the whole thing, you can see they went all the way like almost 1 story high or 2 stories high with the structure to get all the structure here. And this is another picture of the DNA. As I said, here where the free radical comes and starts pulling out the H's out and then making the whole rest. It does not attack the whole thing at once. It makes one of rest, and the whole DNA becomes what? Becomes free radical. This whole DNA free radical come and attack another DNA from other adjacent cell and start chopping it, and you saw how many compounds are coming out this mechanism. Here, just I want to show some of the pictures of the cancer. You can see the typical how they enlarge in size, metastasis. One cell, one free radical becomes the whole cell free radicals come attack another one, and the whole two cells become a free radical. The third one, the whole thing will be free radical, and you can see how they enlarge in size. This is a brain cell. This is a breast cancer cell. So those are very nice pictures. This is a prostate cancer cell. You can see how it is enlarged. You heard about prostate cancer, especially in men. So it's enlarged, very large. And this is here, the white cell is attacking, is defending its immune system here. Realizes this cell is out of order. And this cell is being what? Being a free radical, by the way. So if they are lucky, they can get out of it. They can attack it. Or the white cell, they become what? Part of the free radicals, correct? Even the white cell will be attacked by the free radical cell. They will be part of the thing. So the whole thing here, this is, we call it localized tumor, because in one spot does not really spread all over the place. In one spot that's localized. In situ cancer, they call it in situ cancer. But when it comes to all over the places, when the tumor is spread, when the enlarge and spread all over the body, we call it invading cancer. So we have two types of cancer. One in situ means just localized, does not really going anywhere. And this free radical being quenched means two free radicals come together and then the whole reaction stops. Thus, we call it localized or in situ cancer. Now, if the whole thing is not quenched and the reaction going on, that's when the cancer goes all over the body, starts in the lung and then goes all over the body. That's invading cancer. But the in situ is very nice. It's very nice to treat it, and can be, most of the time the localized cancer we can get rid of it. But the invading one is very, very difficult. So here are some of the pictures of cancer. You can see here. Yeah. Here, just listen to that, what they say.
Cancer is a group of over 100 diseases characterized by abnormal, uncontrolled cell growth. In a healthy body, cells grow, die, and are replaced in a very controlled way. Damage or change in the genetic material of cells by environmental or internal factors sometimes results in cells that do not die and continue to multiply and grow back cancer cells or tumor development. Most cancer-based deaths are due to metastasis, malignant cells that penetrate the circulatory system, colonies, and other parts of the body. Great advancements have been made, but cancer is still the leading cause of death for people under the age of 85. In the United States, 1 in every 4 people die from cancer.
As I said, she spoke about two types of cancer, the localized one, the in situ one, and then the metastasis process, which is invading cancer. That it goes all over the body itself. And that is very hard sometimes to cure. Now I want to show you some graphic picture, show you where the free radicals comes and attack the cell, and the cell becomes itself, as I said, the free radical comes to attack another cell, and you will see the cell will become what? Huge, correct, in size? That's what the picture shows, how the free radicals attacking healthy cells, and then from there it goes to other cells and becomes, as I said, there's too graphic. Please, if you feel you can't see it, don't watch it. So try to look somewhere else because it's really very, very graphic. So this is, you can see how the cell is becoming the free radicals. one healthy cell attacked by free radicals becomes itself free radical. Second one becomes a second free radical, and so on. See how big the cancer cell here. And it's taken out, as I said. That is still what? That is in situ cancer. That's in situ, not the invading cancer, because they took it out, correct? But invading means it goes from the lung all the way to the feet, to the brain, and it goes uncontrolled, out of control. And that's what's very dangerous, and sometimes it's just beyond. That's when the doctor tells the patient, you have 6 months. Because they take a biopsy and look at the person. Well, it's too late. It's all over your body. The invading cancer tumors all over your body, so it's beyond repair. You can see those kids here. There's a kid there, and another picture here we can take. This is the doctor is getting one of the small tiny child. This child has stomach cancer. And after the operation, you see how big the stomach is. As I said, too graphic. Don't watch if you can't watch. But this is still localized because in the stomach, correct? And you will see they will take the whole thing, and the kid is surviving. The kid is in good shape. You can go and look and read about it. The kid is in good shape. The child is in good shape. But it's a localized cancer. So you can just take another picture here. This is what's inside the stomach. This is what's inside the stomach. See here? This is in situ cancer, and the tumor is getting free radical attack cell, and so on and so on and so on. And it will come to the point, it's quenched, stops, the reaction stops, no free radical, the chain of the reaction stops, and therefore they can take it out, and then by operation, and you can see the doctor is holding the whole tumor. See here? The in situ cancer, the whole tumor, you can see. That's too big, correct? But the child survived, though. It's not invading cancer. The invading cancer is too late, because they can't cut your body in pieces to let you survive. But the localized one is easy to handle. So another picture here, another picture of cancer here. There is another one here, you can see. Another one here. You can see all this. Another one. That's another type of skin cancer. If you look at the skin, another type of skin cancer here. That's another type of skin cancer. That's another type of skin cancer. See, localized cancer again can be removed, and the person can live. No problem. And you can see how did I mention, I repeat myself, see how the cell is becoming humongous, huge in size. So therefore, that's just those pictures. And maybe it comes sometimes, as you can see, but I'll stop here. It's just too graphic. But at least you can see. Well, we speak about how to fight free radicals. Well, your body has itself, its immune system, it produces antioxidants. Antioxidants in general compounds, organic compounds, that has double bonds. In general, they have double bonds, and when they see the free radical, your body is producing those antioxidants with double bonds, and they come and they attack this free radical, and the double bond will open up. So the free radical is absorbed, so it stops. And you are producing a localized cancer tumor that can be cut, and the person can live normal life, correct? So antioxidants is very important, and those are mostly called in commercial vitamins, but it's not really only vitamins, antioxidants. We have a lot of chemicals that can absorb and quench those free radicals. So that's another vitamin C. We have seen vitamin C. You see, the typical of those compounds, they have to have a double bond in general. See the double bonds here, here. All those, they can open up and absorb this free radical. Open up and take the free radical. So the single odd electrons will come, be part of part of the double bond, correct? The double bond now becomes single bond, and although the molecule will be still large, but it will turn to be what? Localized cancer, not invading cancer, and it can be cut by the operation. So what's your part in your fighting free radicals? Well, as I said, regular exercise is part of the tips for free radicals to minimize exposure to free radicals. Regular exercise, taking vitamin supplemental, not over supplements. Quit bad habits like such as smoking, excessive drinking, tobacco. Good diet, vegetables and fruits, and avoiding stress. Stress, believe it or not, is another part of free radical generation in our body too. So those are extra references. And if you, my students, I will send you the whole PowerPoint you can look at. I'm concluding here. If you have any question, just let me know. Any question you have? Yes. The use of baking soda? Baking soda, no, baking soda does not produce any free radical. No, baking soda, what it does, if you put baking soda in vinegar, you know, the volcano, first, you know, elementary school, they do volcano show and tell. Yeah, baking soda and vinegar give you the volcano, the CO2, carbon dioxide goes up, and you get sodium acetate out of it. But baking soda is not curing, it's not antioxidant. Antioxidant compounds means compounds, we call them vitamins, but not vitamins. There's other compounds. They have double bond or triple bond, believe it or not. They can open up and absorb the free radicals. Baking soda has nothing, no cure in cancer, not to my knowledge. Baking soda is just a normal salt. It's not even oxidized, by the way. You cannot oxidize it. Well, it can. Well, it's sodium hydrogen carbonate is a weak acid. I don't have the. It's a weak acid. A weak acid like a vinegar. Those they can kill whatever is, but they cannot be stopping cancer. They can kill a couple cells of those, but they can't. In order to fight the free radicals, you have a compound that really can quench, take this free radical and absorb it, and this free radical will be part of it. Sodium carbonate cannot quench, cannot take anything, be part of it. Only double bond and triple bond. Single bond compounds will not do it. If you have to have double bond organic compounds or triple bond organic compounds, you have to have them there as free radical quencher. But sodium hydrogen carbonate, what it does is a weak acid, and it's just maybe cleansing the colon part by maybe that's all. Yeah, it does not really do anything. Not to my knowledge. I can consult. So strange. It does not. No, it does not. Yeah. Yes.
In your PowerPoint, you started what the free radicals do to a DNA molecule. What does a free radical do to an RNA molecule or a messenger DNA or RNA molecule? It does randomly everything. You cannot control it. You saw the compounds are coming, about 30 compounds produced. It does not really specify one side. It takes one side to make the whole RNA as a free radical. The free radical RNA now come and attack another healthy cell DNA, and it chops everything. It's just bluntly like a person here would act. You understand my point? And it does not really specifically attack one part of the DNA or something. The whole thing first free radical. It takes one hydrogen. The whole thing becomes a free radical. The whole DNA. Now the whole DNA, a free radical, comes whatever healthy cell is. Come and chop it apart, and you get a lot of molecules coming out of chopping. Does speed play a factor with the radical?
What's that?
Does the speed, like, if it was like you said, the free radical, it chops like an X instead of DNA molecule, and does the same for RNA, messenger RNA, and transfer.
Oh, I did not read in the literature that it really distinguish anything. Especially the invading cancer does not really distinguish. It starts, for example, in the kidney. They said, especially the kidney one. The kidney one of the worst cancer I read. It goes from the kidney, it goes to the brain within less than 6 months. From the kidney to the brain. See the distance far away, but it's randomly. It takes whatever in its pathway and destruction. Makes out of them free radical. It hits this free radical, and it goes all over the place. So people who have kidney, I had one friend of mine, he was a professor at Decatur campus. He got a kidney, but they prescribed for him a lot of chemicals that they have double and triple bonds, scavenge this. But within 6 months, it went to his brain, from kidney to brain. That's really true. Within 6 months, he went from kidney to the brain, and he died a couple of weeks after that with all the chemicals. He went up north to MIT. They have he has to sign a waiver that something happened to him. That's an experimental drug, experimental medicine. So they gave him a lot of double, triple bonds, at least with the hope maybe the kidney cancer will stop in some area. But it did not stop. Within 6 months, came from kidney all the way to the brain. And if you have the brain, that's our computer CPU, correct, unit? And if the CPU unit's not working, who will get all the signals to the body to function? Nothing. So a couple of weeks he died, although he took a lot of double and triple organic compounds, mixture of compounds, did not help. It was too late. Any question? Yes. Transplant? For what? For the kidney? Yes. If it's malfunctioning normally and you get it on time, but people they don't diagnose if you are diagnosed with the kidney cancer early or very maturely, then there's the way you can survive because you have still this localized cancer still there, a tumor. But if it's starting to be invading, that's too late. The earlier the cancer is diagnosed and the biopsy is diagnosing the cancer, the better you are off. But it's too late. The professor there at Decatur campus was late. He did not realize. One of the parts of the invading cancer, fatigue, and swelling in the throat. His voice is changing. Very, very harsh voices. And then he went to check the doctor. He said something wrong. Let's take biopsy. And they found that he has a very, very, very old or progressing kidney cancer. And they gave him to an institute in MIT up north, and they gave him a lot of double and triple bond organic compounds mixture. Not Armstead, one from the PE. Armstead, leukemia. Leukemia is another type of cancer. Leukemia does not involve free radicals. The type of cancer does not, but 99.9% of cancer is free radical. But leukemia is something, it's malfunction in the blood system. It's produced white cell, too much of white cell starts attacking itself. The body starts attacking itself. But there's no free radical mechanism in blood cancer. It's different a little bit. Yeah.
What can you say about it? Like, if someone goes to the hospital for a free cancer test, the doctor will say, okay, these cells, they look abnormal, but they're not cancer cells. Then later, after like 3 or 6 months, then doctor says it's cancer cells. What happens?
Well, from one visit to another visit, you might have been exposed to a lot of stress, a lot of pollution, a lot of other factors from outside, external factors. The doctor has nothing to do with it. Yeah, and I read a recent paper about this, and it said inheritance, sometimes inheriting genes from whatever your parents. If somebody in your family, therefore, is very important to tell your doctor, some of your parents, your parents or your brother or sister, very close relatives, died from cancer. The doctor has to know this because that's most probably will be you have a cancer. You'll get some some genes, which is, some DNA is producing itself free radicals. So inherited cancer is found to be true. It's not in many cases, but there's something is wrong. If something in your family, 3 or 4 people are dying from cancer, that's most probably you have to test yourself regularly. You understand my point? So we can't blame the doctor who's not detecting this. There are too many factors affecting. I can visit the doctor today, and then in 6 months, I have been exposed to many other factors. I don't know. The doctor has no knowledge of it. Yes?
Is there and are there any way to perform sort of quick tests and kind of like how we have HIV and stuff like that, where you can test antibodies? Like, is there any way where you can, without a scan or anything like that, that they can?
There are a lot of tests I read. There are a lot of tests, but all the best tests is to take biopsy. I mean, all the scans can be negative. The biopsy cannot fail you. The biopsy will never fail you.
I mean, like something that where we could, have like a test site somewhere where we could come to GPC and everybody test there. But not being so complicated, something like a quick test. Is there any work on something like that, or is that possible?
That's possible, but you have to have a manpower that's really qualified to do this type of test.
Actually, I heard something weird, maybe on TV, but that some dogs could be trained to smell cancer on a person. I don't know what stage that the cancer would have to be, but I don't know if that has happened or not. But they said it on TV and some morning channel show.
That is true, because some cancers do produce an odor.
Correct.
And then we also have, in response to your question, there are certain breast tests that can determine that you have a propensity for a certain kind of cancer. It will not say you have stomach cancer, you have brain cancer, you have kidney cancer, but it will set that because of the odor that it produced, it is expelled through your breath. And some dogs can actually put their nose on a part of the body to say cancer is in this quadrant of the body or in this part of the chest.
Okay.
That's new for me, but that's good. That's really good. I did not know that. Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
To look for certain forms of oncogenes, like the P53 oncogenes, like the BRCA genes involved in breast cancer. If you have certain genotypes for those genes, you're more likely to develop those particular types of cancers. Colon cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, there's a strong genetic linkage for those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other cancers that are about 20% of all cancers are caused by viral infections. The herpes type viruses, herpes lymphoma,
Yeah.
HPV.
Correct.
They have a vaccine against HPV now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hepatitis C and B, they can cause cancer too.
And there's strong research to support inflammation as being a major cause.
Correct. Yeah, inflammation causes the free radicals. Yeah. That's. Any other questions you have? Yes. Stress can cause you a lot of things, not only cancer. Can cause you mental collapse. Can cause you a lot. Yes. Yeah. And cancer. Yeah. Because your immune system will go very, very down. Remember that the cells are growing, doing some function and dying. And everything is the immune system, everything programmed. But it comes if the stress will prevent this programming, and now those cells are not dying. They're still alive. And they're producing free radicals. Yeah. So it's a program cycle that the cell is growing and doing some function and die. And then the cycle goes, it's controlled. But if the system is not, for some reason, it's not working, then stress can cause these cells not to die. There will be free radical and they produce monstrous huge cells out of them. Yes. What's that?
Human beings mostly relate with stress. The degrading in matter, degrading the cancer.
Well, stress not only if a human being living with the stress, that human being not only will be subjected to cancer but other diseases. Some of the stress not only cancer related, but the stress, the mental collapse of the person. If too much of stress, if you put the stress, here the stress is the pressure, correct? If I put too much pressure on this wood of this table, what will happen? It will break, correct? I break it in speed. Now, if you put too much stress, too much pressure on your brain, you squeeze this. The brain cannot function. Cannot go signals all over the places, and there's a lot of stroke can be one of the heart disease can be one of the major stress. So stress can cause a lot of other diseases, not only just cancer. Not only cancer, stroke, heart diseases, yeah, so all other diseases. Because you put a lot of pressure on the brain, and the brain cannot function. So if the brain cannot function, then the whole thing cannot function. So, any other question you have? Yes, Letitia.
Coming back to the antioxidants, every time you turn on a new product, or the new superfood, one is blueberry, and then it's something else, and then it's something else, and they talk about the free radicals, which nobody really knows what they are until today, and they say, this is good for you. How can we be educated consumers to know when something really is an antioxidant and when it really is good for us, and when it's just the new, latest, greatest advertising?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I will say the best source will be your doctor, because your doctor will have the superpower and the super knowledge on this, because they get from those companies supplemental, for promotion to sell it in their pharmacies, in the hospitals. So they will know all details about this. I don't really know what's inside. Most probably what you have to have a compound with double bond or compound with a triple bond, and then some strawberry flavor, and then some, the flavor is like in soda, but the main ingredient is always a compound that's a double bond or a triple bond. That's the main thing. All the others, and a little bit of sugar to make it more tasty, but sugar has nothing to do with the process. The double bond and the triple bond is the major one. Yeah, but I have no knowledge about details about those products, but your doctor gets those samples. Remember, your doctor, when you go, he will give you sometimes free samples too, encourage you to buy from their pharmacy, from the hospital. At least Kaiser Permanente does. So he give you some promo stuff, so you can try those. So they will know the details what's inside those. But the main thing for the antioxidant to be antioxidant, it has to have a double bond or a triple bond that can quench the free radical. All the other ones is just sugar and some flavors. Any other questions you have? So thank you very much, and don't forget to sign. The attendance sheet is somewhere here. And yeah, attendance sheet is Professor Strange. So sign it, please. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much. And you are more than. Next semester I'll do nano stuff.
Oh, cool.
Nano, that's my area. I did a lot of research on it.
So let me know when you.
Yes, next.